watch this space, guys. You've just maybe met the worst losers ever in your life. Me and Dricus. And I'm not sleeping until we've got that belt back. I know everybody's laughing and say, yeah, Dricus was exposed. I'm a bad loser. Dricus is a bad loser. It's going to take whatever it takes for us to get back that belt back ASAP. It's not going to be a long story. One fight and the belt. That's us back in the belt. So to all those naysayers and all the guys who support blanket style MMA, blanket wrestling, we in the real fight game, and we'll be back again and surprise you with just taking that belt back again.
They're saying RDR is the next fight for you guys. You wouldn't be interested in a potential contender if you had to fight a contender next?
Look, I'll rather, I'll be honest with you, instead of spending time to prepare for going to another fight camp to prepare for RDR, I would rather spend that time to fix the problem that we've got and then go into a camp. So I won't just take a fight because fights are available. I want to fix this problem because we're going to face Khamzat and I want to destroy him this time. And I know it sounds easy, man. It sounds so easy. If you can just get that guy not to take you down, or stuff his takedowns and stand back up and just punish him. But he also picked up his wrestling game. So no RDR for us right now. Now I'll rather spend the time in fixing this problem.
Honest, I've been thinking that this is going to be the fight of the year. So we'll see how that goes. Took him down straight away on the low double. A minute into the fight, he's got him in the crucifix. Little punches to the ear. He's working on his collie. Completely dominated in the first round. Khamzat straight on a double again, sits him down. If I was Khamzat though, I'd be trying to finish it in this spot. Once he gets them hands together from the back position like that, his grip must be unbelievable. What Khamzat's doing really well is he's switching stances a lot as well from the stand-up. In the limited stand-up that he's doing, he's keeping DDP guessing. But he's managed to reverse him though with 2.5 minutes left. Don't go for no submissions or nothing like that. Don't lose position. Oh, he's come for the guillotine. He's lost his position. He's popped his head straight out. Oh, last minute. He's put a few shots on him there though. He's got him going backwards. Oh, DDP's ended up on top with 30 seconds left. I don't think he'll have enough time to do much damage, but that's it. So a complete shot out for Khamzat Chimaev, new champion at middleweight. Congratulations to Khamzat. Commiserations to DDP.
Anyone that says it's a boring fight is a casual. Now Chimaev, everyone knew the first round was going to look like that. What we didn't expect was Chimaev's ability to do that for 25 minutes. That was mind-blowing. He is the most purest build I've ever seen. He put all his stat points in wrestling.
It was like, I get this. He get this.
I'm not sleeping until we've got that belt back. I know everybody's laughing and say, yeah, Dricus was exposed. I'm a bad loser. Dricus is a bad loser. It's going to take whatever it takes for us to get back that belt back ASAP. It's not going to be a long story.
They kind of overlooked, they didn't take it that serious. They felt, okay, if we survive one, we're good. But to get to, you got to survive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just couldn't do it.
He said it with a calm threat in his voice. They aren't sleeping until the belt comes back, and when the rematch hits, they will break the new champion's rhythm and take everything back. One statement from DDP's coach lit the fuse. Clips spread, pros reacted, and the comment sections went wild. Some heard belief, many heard denial. That's the tension that keeps this sport glued together, because a promise like, "we will destroy him in the rematch," doesn't just hype a fight, it invites the whole world to test your words against reality. The night that started the fire was anything but unclear. The champion didn't just blitz early, he held a steady, suffocating pace, and nothing meaningful slowed him down. People expected a rough opening. Not many expected that pressure to echo through the second, third, fourth, and fifth. Takedown entries were sharp, mat returns were automatic. The same punishing stations reappeared like clockwork. Side control, wrists trapped, and a creeping crucifix that kept turning minutes into anchors. Scorecards read like a lecture, and even those calling it dull couldn't deny the pattern. It wasn't one moment, it was a method. So the coach doubled down in public. No detours, no tune-ups, fix the holes and run it back as soon as possible. On paper, the blueprint sounded simple enough. Stop the shot, stand up fast, and punish the exits. But that sentence hides a maze. Which shot are you stopping? The low double that hits before your eyes adjust. The body lock that drags you away from the fence just when you think you are safe. The reshot that bites the instant you plant your feet to throw. And how do you stand when one arm is pinned and your hips are stapled? Fans loved the certainty. Fighters smelled the work hidden between the lines. Veterans did not sugarcoat it. Joe Rogan called the gap multiple levels, not one. If DDP's camp brought wrestlers, they didn't bring the sensation that you are sinking in slow motion while someone calmly rearranges your base. Tom Aspinall broke the mechanics down like a technician. Stance switches that hide the level change, grip chains that keep resetting the position, and a patient refusal to chase low percentage finishes that would burn the tank. Michael Bisping pointed to the crucifix like a warning siren. If it keeps appearing, it isn't luck, it's a system. Even DDP's bright moments were framed as postcards, not turning points. That honesty hurt, but it mapped the road. Kamaru Usman cut to the heart of the lesson, calling it one skill is exactly how you get humbled by it. If your plan is to survive one storm, your plan dies in the next 4. That so-called single skill turns every minute into an audit. You don't beat a chain wrestler once, you beat him in every exchange, because every successful return to the mat taxes your lungs, your balance, and your choices. Survive round 1? Great. Now survive the same thing at a slower, meaner speed when your arms feel like they weigh 100 pounds. That was the veteran's message, and it sounded like experience talking, not hype. Right on cue, the boring fight debate exploded. Robert Whittaker shut it down. Elite control against a champion known for grit is not a nap, it's a master class. Demetrius Johnson echoed the sentiment, if you hate grappling, maybe watch another sport. Side control to crucifix is not a party trick, it is geometry with consequences. Israel Adesanya added a twist. It wasn't the wrestler fading, it was DDP getting slowed, the engine flipped around. Cardio didn't collapse. The pressure siphoned the other man's fuel. It still wasn't flawless. Usman noticed moments where a finish looked tempting, yet the champion refused to empty the tank. Efficiency beat ego. That discipline made the night feel inevitable. Dana White framed the pattern like weather. When round 1 plants a flag that deep, the rest of the night usually salutes. That was the backdrop for the coach's vow, and it explains why pros rolled their eyes before sharpening the analysis. Not because comebacks don't happen, but because demanding a demolition after a 5-round lesson is a dare to the entire division. So what does a real adjustment look like? Start with humility wrapped in steel. You don't sell a rematch by calling the champion one-dimensional. You sell it by naming the exact sequences that hurt you and promising to interrupt them. Fight the hands before the headlock detour, frame early against the pass. Treat the fence like a springboard, not a trap. Build rules for when to base, when to bail, and when to concede the mat so you can rebuild without panic. None of that sounds glamorous. All of it wins minutes, and minutes win fights. A fence needs a rhythm that doesn't gift body locks. DDP's power is real, but wide swings invite level changes. The rematch path uses short shots and stubborn balance. A jab that splits the entry, an uppercut that shows without loading, and a knee that punishes without overcommitting. You create a tax for every attempt. You don't try to scare a chain wrestler off the shot with one bomb. You charge small fees until the spreadsheet turns. When he finally hesitates, you cash out with clean exchanges and exits that reset the round on your terms. Meanwhile, the champion's room will polish what already worked. Early level changes, stance swaps that hide intentions, a steady threat of mat returns that punishes every stand-up with interest. If DDP stands, return him. If he circles, cut him off. If he frames, take the back and make the clock heavy. That is why the coach's phrasing became an easy meme. It wasn't just bold, it handed the other corner a motivational poster. Fighters love bulletin board fuel. They tape it up, nod to it in the mirror, and try to make you eat it for 25 minutes. Gordon Ryan's perspective framed the modern landscape. Today's MMA is about owning transitions, the athletes who connect the whole map, wrist rides into returns, into threats that force bad turns, rule championship distance. Submissions matter, striking matters, but the glue between moments is what drowns people. And that glue is exactly what the champion poured on DDP. If a rematch happens, the fix has to start there, because you can't decorate a house when the foundation cracks every time it rains. Caio Borralho even hinted that knowing the system matters. If you can name each step, you can deny it. That's a claim, not proof, but it shows how deep this chess match runs. Public messaging matters too. The coach leaned into the worst losers line like armor. Fans turned it into jokes. If you are going to be a bad loser, be a great learner. Language is a weapon, but it is also a trap. Promise too much and you write checks your fighter must cash under bright lights. Promise the right things and you bind yourself to the grind, drilling the ugly spots, recruiting partners who can drown you, and living inside positions that humbled you on live television. The timeline will still troll you. But if the room changes, the cage will notice. Were there positives to build on? Absolutely. DDP never quit. He tried to flip the script deep in the fight. He found top position in a late scramble, stuffed a key entry, and threw with intent when space finally appeared. Those aren't moral wins, they are timestamps. You can point to them and say, here is proof the door can open. Now stack them. Turn one stop into two. Turn two into a stall. Turn a stall into a fence. Force the champion to open up, then meet him with counters that matter. That is the path from pain to progress. Some observers floated alternate routes, arguing that a guard wizard with instant threats could force the champion into riskier choices. Reports claim a specialist with elite bottom work might change the calculus. Maybe. It is a fun theory, but it stays speculation until the cage decides. The only certainty right now is this: the champion's entries are clean, his mat IQ is rising, and his cardio looked colder than advertised. He didn't just survive deep water, he seemed to grow there, and that is tough news for anyone asking for a quick turnaround. That is why the smartest plan is quiet urgency, skip victory laps, and public sparring with fans. Skip the casuals talk, let Whitaker and DJ defend the value of grappling, let analysts debate the margins. The only debate that matters lives in the gym. Can you stop the same chain the second time you see it? Can you stand without giving up your hips? Can you deny the crucifix before it forms? Can you make the champion switch to plan B and then punish the switch? Answer those and the rematch becomes a real question instead of a quote. Fans love redemption arcs, but they also love receipts. If the coach guarantees demolition and round one looks like last time, the timeline will be ruthless. If the first minute looks different, if hands fight hands, if frames appear early, if the fence turns from trap to trampoline, the same timeline will hold its breath. That is how fast narratives flip in this sport. One scramble can rewrite a night. One clean break can flip a crowd from groans to gasps. The margin is razor thin. Here's the twist: the chest thumping can still have a purpose if it becomes fuel, not script. Let the trolling keep the fire on. Strip the ego, translate the noise into drills. Bring in partners who can drown you, then learn to breathe. Build a game that accepts bad spots without panic. The promise isn't that you will destroy anyone. The promise is that you won't repeat the same nightmare. That sells better anyway, because it sounds like work, not wishes. And this sport always rewards the room that embraces the hard parts. Until a rematch is official, everything lives in quotes and clips. The belt stays where it is. The champion keeps sharpening the thing he does better than almost anyone. DDP builds barriers and counter lanes. The coach learns to turn "we'll destroy him" into "we fixed the problem." And when the door closes again, we get the only answer that matters. Did the camp solve the chain? Did the base hold up after scrambles? Did the gas tank stay steady under pressure? If yes, the story changes. If not, the lesson repeats. No hashtags can hide it. For now, the most honest message isn't viral. Respect the thing that beat you. Study it until you can name every branch. Schedule a week around becoming uncomfortable. Keep the tone measured, not meek. Say less, work more. Because if the rematch comes and the opening minute looks nothing like last time, if the entry gets snuffed, if the mat return dies at the fence, if the first stand-up leads to a clean break, that single minute will silence a month of memes. Then the room will feel smaller, the noise will fade, and the promise will finally have a chance to become proof. That is the honest path.